Hi, I'm Julian. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a few more of the features of Clara, my W124 300CE Mercedes. First up is what I believe to be quite a rare feature, which is the steering wheel adjust. So let me just move that along and you should be able to see that the steering wheel moves backwards and forwards, which is not something that I ever use. Now here's another one that I have seen on the 123 and not on any other car particularly. Did you ever go to the supermarket and buy far too much beer? Did you ever tow a trailer? Did you ever have a really heavy body to dispose of that you were hiding in the trunk? Well, rather than dazzle people coming the other way, why don't you just move your headlamps up and down? Can't really demonstrate that happening, but I can assure you it does. A, it needs the engine to be running because it works on the vacuum, and B, it's daylight, it's bright sunlight as you can probably see, so you'd never notice it anyway. But believe me, that one does work too. Now I'm not too sure what Mercedes were thinking about with this one, but she's got two-tone horns as well. Here's one of them. And if you just throw that switch, you get a slightly different tone. Not really sure what that one was all about, but nice to have, even if you never use it. Oh, and while we're here, rear headrest droppers. Press that button and the rear headrests should just drop. They don't, because the vacuum system's shot somewhere, but that's another thing on the list to fix. Again, it's a nice to have. The only disappointment is that they don't actually go up again when you push the button the other way. But there you go, such is life. Now here's one that I really do like and do use. Have you ever been driving along and the sun is low, you've got both sun visors down, but the pesky sun is still sneaking in above your mirror? Well, Mercedes thought of that 30-something years ago. It took me months to find that on my Passat, and I was delighted to see that Clara's got it too. Slick. And while we're on the subject of sun visors, of course all cars do this. But maybe the sun's a little bit further back than that. Well, no problem. Mercedes thought of that. And you can slide it back. Nice. In a coupe, it is a legal requirement, at least it is in many countries I believe, that the front seats lock in position while the car is running, started, or moving, whatever. This is the way Mercedes solved this one. You don't actually have to do anything. The engine's on, and yes, she's got a slight hole in the exhaust. That's up for being fixed fairly shortly. But as you can see, let me try and demonstrate that, the seats are locked in position. I can't move them. But there is, however, if you can just see down here, this little button here, which is a vacuum dump. So if I press that, lo and behold, seats go forwards. Put them back in place, and once again, they're locked. Obviously, opening the door also dumps the vacuum, as does stopping the engine, but if I just open the door and want to put the seat forward, there she goes. Another slick little piece of design from Mercedes-Benz. Here's a nice piece of dual functionality. This knob on the side of your seat obviously changes the rake of the seat back in that position, but put it out a notch and you can adjust the height or not of your headrest, which is nice. Have you ever dropped your crisps, sandwiches, money, phone, etc. down the side of your seat? Well, not a problem in Clara, because attached to the side of each seat and butting up against the centre console is this fabric covered ledge which catches anything you might drop. Now, I hadn't given much consideration to this excellent feature other than to appreciate it being there, but then watching a video by Doug DeMuro on a W140 series 1990 car, he commented on this and said he hadn't seen it anywhere else. So I then thought, this being 2 years older, that was another nice advanced feature. Just one of those things, really. Now here's another thing that really adds to the usability of these cars, the size of the boot. We've been to the continent so many times and filled up with boxes of wine and cases of beer and all sorts of stuff, and crammed it all in there. Managed to get the suitcases in as well, and thought we should have gone back for some more wine really, but we didn't. So again, something that makes this car very, very usable. Great boot size. Now I'm not sure about this one. It's actually an old mobile phone charger so far as I know. Not original fitting, but probably dates back to when the car was new. Probably going to go. There were a couple of microphones in the cabin that I took out before I really realised what they were. Kind of wish I'd left them, but they're gone, so this one's probably going as well. But quite an interesting feature for a car this age. Couple of last observations before we go. One, yes, we still have our warning triangle, which is nice. Thank goodness we've never had to use it, but it's good to know it's there. And an observation really, this boot lid is unlined, but on the later coupes and presumably the saloons, they put a kind of fabric covered plastic lining in there, which actually didn't make any difference to the way it sounded, but just looked that little bit tidier. And speaking of looking tidy, the other thing that goes quite often on these is this boot lid shut point. They're not particularly expensive or difficult to replace, but they make absolutely no difference to the way she sounds, but they do look a lot neater. So I'm going to wrap it up there and say thank you very much indeed for watching, and if you like what you see, please subscribe, keep coming back, and hopefully I'll have time to do some more very soon. Thank you, bye bye.